Freedom is giving yourself permission to do just that. It is listening to that quiet voice within you rather than the loud voices that you are surrounded by.
What is freedom? Sanhia on escaping the prison of the mind.
Good now. I am going to begin this talk on freedom by speaking of the United States. Many of you, of course, are not from that country. So, as you are hearing the comments, please relate them to your own land or to your adopted country and see how it fits. It's fun to begin with the United States because it claims to be the land of the free. Let's look closer and see what freedom means in this case. How are children raised to be free? Most young children are taught to obey their parents. You're to do what you're told to do. At a certain age, the government forces the child to go to school. The parents are not free to say no to this order. Is there freedom of choice for child or parent? At school, you're forced to follow rules, to be quiet and still, to do the work you are given. Not only are you not physically free, but mentally you must do the work you are told to do. There is no freedom to choose your subject matter, the way you will learn it, or even to choose to do or not do what you are assigned. There are rewards for performing the desired behaviors and punishments for deviation or resistance. Much the same is true at home with the parents, though this might have much more to do with rules, expectations, and behavior, along with performing any assigned tasks. So, freedom in this country seems to mean that you're rewarded for doing what others want and you're punished for doing only as you desire. It might seem that only adults have freedom, but let's keep digging. So, where is this freedom? The communication to children seems to be that they cannot be trusted with freedom, that adults need to teach you how you should be and what you should do. This education goes on for 12 years, both at school and at home, until you either fully learn how to surrender your autonomy to those who know, or you suffer endless punishment and are labeled a failure. Now, as a young adult, you have learned to perform in the right way, or you find yourself in an endless and probably losing battle with authority. Are you free to do whatever you want each day? No. You are now programmed to do what you should do. If you don't perform as your mind now tells you that you should, there may be horrible consequences. You won't be able to support yourself. You will not be acting in a responsible way. You will not be doing something useful with your life. You may lose your house, your car, your loved ones. You will have no future. You will die homeless and friendless, a total failure. People won't love you. They won't even want to be around you. You have to follow societal expectations, or you will be ostracized. This is what happens in the land of freedom. Young children who want to do nothing but play and explore the world about them are trained to be automatons. The concern now is to have health insurance, which requires you to hold down a job. And society tells you through advertising and less subtle nudges that you are what you own. You are defined by your car, clothes, home, electronic gadgets, physical appearance, and that of any partner you might have. You may choose to stay in a marriage because you think you will be judged as a bad person if you divorce, particularly if children are involved. And you might lose your health insurance. This is freedom. You may have a mortgage, student debt, and your credit cards are loaded. Or maybe you struggle along with little as you spend frugally, avoiding costs for things that might be enjoyable. You trudge ahead, doing what others, what experts, what authorities tell you to do. Perhaps you are fortunate enough to be raised in a religion. Then the church tells you what is right and wrong, as well as what will happen to you if you are good and what will happen if you do wrong. There are all of these rules for you to live by. Even if you are not raised in a religion, you are still infused with a moral sense, still taught what is right and what was wrong. Perhaps you were raised with scientific beliefs. What you are taught is that science is what smart people have studied and proven, and that it describes how the world truly works. Science tells you that you have to protect yourself from disease through taking vaccinations and other shots, as well as eating certain medicines if the prevention fails to work. It tells you what you should eat and how you should treat the environment, as well as suggesting that science cannot prove the existence of any God, and that anything it has not proved cannot be trusted to be right. Again, we have rules, rules, rules for how to live your life. Where is the freedom? A funny thing about science is that a true scientist accepts nothing he is taught as absolute truth. Everything is questioned. All investigations are entered with an open mind and a curiosity to find what results experiments will produce. The desire is to go beyond what is known to new frontiers. They understand that science proves nothing. It only provides theories. Theories have a shelf life and are eventually replaced with new understandings. Science is never certain and never finished. It's a work in progress. Scientists disagree. It cannot be accurately stated that science proves anything. Yet, people live their lives directed by the beliefs of science. They've been raised to give their power away to science, to religion, to parents, to authorities, to employers, to relatives, to friends, to the mass consciousness. Where is the freedom? In the land of the free, people are raised, educated, and encouraged to trust everyone but themselves, to let others determine how their life should be led. For the most part, living is done unconsciously. It's just how things are done. Those who don't conform to this protocol are highly suspect. Who do they think they are? In truth, every person has freedom. Nobody is being forced to give their power away. However, very few claim and exercise that freedom. In the United States, a person is free to choose whatever work they desire. They're not limited by any patterns or beliefs. They can think what they like. They can act as they wish, with the restrictions of not harming others or breaking existing laws. In fact, though, they're free to break those laws and suffer the consequences if that is the desire. In their minds and in their hearts, they're absolutely free, if they wish to claim that freedom. Again, very few do. People choose careers because of family and societal pressures, with a hope for financial freedom, for dreams of power and control, or out of hopelessness. A person is free to claim each day for their personal joy and exploration, but they choose to go to work. Only for a small minority is the freedom and joy experienced there. Even where there is immediate payoff, it's usually accompanied by some sort of compromise, a surrendering of current freedom for imagined future freedom. It ultimately makes little difference if you're living in the land of the free or in a totalitarian society. In either one, you can follow your inner guidance, you can choose to follow your inner joy and divinity, or you can surrender to the pressure of the mass consciousness. 4 walls do not a prison make. The warden is your inner capitulation to the voices of the world. Nobody can touch your inner sanctums but you. Others can scare you. Then you must face your fear or give your power away to it, surrendering your freedom. The result is that from that time forward, you live in fear. Truth be told, you already were living in fear. The outside threat just made it more obvious. The fearful mind believes that it has no choice. What is this freedom? We would suggest as a pointer here that freedom is doing that which you truly, truly wish to do. How many of you truly, truly wish to get up and go to work 5 days a week and then stay at the job for 8 hours? That can be a prison. Do you choose freely each day to do that work? Or are there qualifications such as that you kind of like your job, it's better than some you could have, or that the pay allows you to have other freedoms? Are you filled with joy in anticipation of going to the job? Is there no place you would rather be? We could say that freedom is taking steps in each moment toward what you feel passion for. The teaching that comes from the mass consciousness is that you just can't do what you want to do. You have to be practical. You have to protect and take care of yourself. That is your responsibility before you can pursue joy. Maybe you can do that on the weekend or in the evenings. But even then, if you have a family and a house, there are errands and cleaning and shopping and numerous other things to do. Who are you kidding? Unless you are a rare exception, this is what you have been taught by parents, by schools, by society, by churches, by science, and so on. Where is the freedom? Where is the joy and passion? As long as you believe these limits on your freedom are the truth, they will be. You cannot surrender your freedom to choose, but you have the freedom to choose what you don't want. You are free to choose your prison. Nobody forces you to do that. You have the freedom to believe that you have no choice. As long as you make that choice, life will prove you to be right, because you do create your world through your thoughts. You will suffer and experience a variety of negative emotions. There will be a roller coaster of ups and downs. There will be no escape from the cycle. There will be no true feeling of freedom or of lasting joy. It's a life sentence, and then you die. Where is the freedom? The freedom lies in your choice. Are you choosing to believe you have no freedom? Or are you choosing to know that as a child of God, you are made in the Creator's image with infinite imagination, joy, and ability to create from that passion? Knowing that you're here to follow whatever expressions come to you while experiencing the physical realm, while using this physical body. The only freedom comes in making this choice, in listening to where your inner guidance takes you, rather than bowing before the mass consciousness. Will making that choice guarantee a problem-free life from here on out? Probably not. It's like anything else you've never done before. You don't likely do it so well to begin with. The old beliefs may die slowly. You may think at the start that if you just achieved a certain something, you will have joy. The belief may be that joy comes through acquisitions, relationships, and successes. I could save you time by telling you that it won't work that way, but you probably have to learn that for yourself. So knock yourself out. I'm not the expert here. Your inner drive is. When you choose from your heart, your learning curve rises dramatically. You will learn what it is that is truly desired. Meanwhile, there are no mistakes, no wrong turns. Keep your GPS headed toward the peace, joy, and love that you truly are. Where your freedom takes you will be constantly changing and evolving. Always, it's about the process and the present, not about any goal or target. Freedom can be very scary for people. You have no idea where it will take you and what you will let go of as you follow your heart. At least in prison, you don't have to worry. You're told what to do all the time. Surprises are minimized. Even though it may not make you happy, at least you fit in. Everybody else is doing it. There seems to be safety in numbers. With this freedom thing, nobody else can tell you what to choose or which way to go. You have to find that out for yourself. Nobody can tell you where you are headed. Most will criticize your direction. You will find that your path is unlike anyone else's. It's unique. Others cannot guide you because they don't have a clue where you're going. They don't even know what their own true path is. Only you know what to do, where to go. Freedom is giving yourself permission to do just that. It is listening to that quiet voice within you rather than the loud voices that you're surrounded by. It doesn't matter how you have grown up, with what kind of parents, what schools, what religious thoughts, or what society. Like everyone, you were persuaded by all these forces to think and act in certain ways. Freedom is turning your back on all of that and living out your passions. Just say no. Like Sinatra, say, I'll do it my way. You follow your own guidance. You march to your own drummer. This is freedom. Good now.
If this touched your heart, subscribe and receive more light. This content is the creative work of Channels Without Borders, all rights reserved 2025. Visit channelswithoutborders.com. Feel free to share this with friends. More information and links are in the description.